check out Robb on Facebook at Voodoo Fly Company, and you got a webpage,
SouthHolstonAngler.com.
SouthHolstonAngler.com, and put in a plug for his sponsor, GILLZ.
Yeah, if you can go to Facebook and give them a like, I'd appreciate that. They help me do what I like to do. All right, guys. Y'all ready? All right. Take the thread, start it behind the bead, build up a little bit of a dam because you need something to hold the bead tight. Trim it off. This will be your legs and your tail. So you want to take this, pull it back a little bit. You want to stay away from the soft webby parts. So on this one it's about halfway down to get it even. So you want to pull it flat, measure it out, and do the best that you can at cutting it even.
Drop down just a bit.
And that gets it pretty close to even.
Hold it back down there just a minute.
Okay.
So that's your tail.
That's the tail.
How many you got? About 5 or 6?
Probably more than that. There's probably close to 7 or 8. Take your thread, you wind it back to the arch of the hook. Make a little bit of a bump.
And what does the bump do?
The bump helps the tail stay up. Can you see it? Right here, the bump, and then right there is where we're going to start it. Took it from right past the part, you'll see where there's the marabou feeling. And then if you look at the barbules, you'll see some that's really soft and webby because this is off of a saddle. You move up till you get a little bit long, but it's clean fibers. And then I trimmed off a little bunch off them. There we go. And see, right here, this stuff is too soft for a tail. Right in here, it's still a little bit webby. But as you move further down, ta-da. So this is right about where the sweet spot starts for where you want to get your tailing material. It's just a hair longer than what you would normally tie for like a pheasant tail. So take the gap of the hook as a general term. All right. Now once you got the tail mounted, you can pull it tight, and then you just slowly wrap back up the shank of the hook and trap the tailing material as you go forward, and that'll help you keep a smooth body, because on these you don't want a lot of lumps into the body if you can help it. And then trim it tight at the bead, and then wind it back to where you have the tail lashed. All the bumps there is just to prop up the tail so it doesn't just point straight down. It makes the fly look like it's curled in the water, because a lot of times when the blueing olives are coming up in the water column, you're going to notice that they have kind of a pitched body to them. And that's the reason we're tying on a scud hook, and then they flay their tails out as they come through the water. Yes, sir. Robb's Bluing Olive Nymph. That's it. Only works if you have an R in your name.
This one must catch fish because mine doesn't.
All right. Everybody, next part is going to be taking your scud back, Just lash it into the body, and then just try to smooth it up until where you'd have it almost to the abdomen, because your abdomen's going to start right about here, and just be sure to lash it in good and tight.
So you tied it in the back and then run forward on this side?
Well, I tied it in at the back and then ran it forward and then ran back over it. That way, because whenever I tie it, I pull it tight so I can get a real slender body. So I want to make sure that the scud back doesn't pop out while I'm twisting it. You can use olive, you can use black for it. You can do the same for brown for like a sulfur. What we're going to do now is just take it, pull it tight, and rotate the scud back around the body until you get to where you want to start your abdomen. Dip it under the thread, 3 turns, should be plenty to hold it. Pull it up tight, trim it. And then, okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take another section of scud back, and that's going to be the wing case. So you want to trap it, a few wraps to keep it tight, and try to make sure that you keep it centered over the top of the fly, and roughly around that much space is what you're going to need for your thorax. We're going to put some dubbing on. This is olive possum dubbing. Just take it, twist it on, a fairly tight noodle. Plastic?
I dropped mine over and cannot find it. Thank you.
Yeah, man. And just wind it in. Alright. Alright. What we're going to do next is pull the scud back over the bead. And then remember to try and keep it centered over the top of the fly. One loose, then pull it tight on the second one. Third one to trap it. Pull it up again. And don't pull it real tight, because otherwise it'll pull out from underneath your wraps. So just trim it. And if you get it right, it'll make a nice flat back to it. Alright, guys. This is off the same feather, just closer to the tip. What you want to do is try to measure out what you need. And to make legs on this size fly, you'd need a pretty good bunch. You can use Hungarian if you wanted to, but I like using the olive off of these. So, yeah, I just pulled one side over, and then pulled it out flat, and then trimmed it so I can get them close to the same length. Take them in, one loose wrap to catch it on the side, then one underneath it, and then from there you can adjust where it's going to be at, and then you can see how long you want your legs to be at. Let's see. Can you see? Yeah, I'm going to put a set on each side. So this will be for the opposite side.
Yeah, I finally bought some good scissors. I have this ones that came with my kit from a million years ago, and they finally got real dull. Oh, yeah? Really? Oh, okay. I've heard people sharpen them on tinfoil. Really?
All right. Once you get them on both sides, just make you a little bit of a band to pull everything down tight. Take your finger, 1, 2, 3. Catch it, hold it tight so it doesn't slip off. Trim it off. And if you want to use head cement, throw head cement on it.